We got an interesting chapter this week with a bunch of things to talk about, along with the return of Asa and Yoru into the main story, since we haven't seen them in a long time now, and the sad reality that Reize is not a part of public safety like many people predicted that she was, with us only getting return of a Katana Man and Kwangshi, so I'm sure Reize is out there somewhere, but yeah, Reize bros, you gotta take that L like the JJK fans right now. She might not be coming back. Well, maybe at some point. But without wasting any more time, let's get straight into it. Alright, so picking up from the last chapter, public safety was raiding all the chainsawman church facilities throughout Japan, since Biram gave public safety the justification to raid the chainsawman church and to basically get rid of them. After his plan of committing no Russia at the amusement park to get Denji to transform into Chainsaw Man failed in the most anticlimactic way imaginable, and the Japanese government used this event to spin the truth to arrest many of the high-ranking members of the Chainsaw Man Church for a conspiracy to commit treason, endangering minors, and making illegal devil contracts. This brings us over to the present, where we see that the new head of public safety, who we don't actually get a name for unfortunately, is walking along with his advisors who are informing him of the situation, but we learn that public safety was able to essentially neutralize all the facilities the Chainsaw Man Church had, and they're planning on exploiting the many children who are part of the organization to show them to the media, crying and being victims of the situation as a way to get the public to side with them. Along with this, the new head dog also authorized the capture of the war devil who he refers to as Asamitaka. Then he says Hero is hoping she do us a favor and turn Chainsaw Man into a weapon. Okay, this is a pretty big bombshell for a couple of reasons. Number one, it shows us that public safety somehow found out about Yoru and what's strange about this is they don't refer to Yoru and Asa being two different beings, they only refer to her as the War Devil. And this could be because Asa's in the process of actually becoming the new War Devil. After all, during the Falling Devil arc, the Falling Devil herself does refer to Asa and Yoru as a human devil fusion. So it's possible that public safety has encountered situations similar to Asa before, and they're aware of the relationship of the two have, and at least how it'll end. Now, as for who clued them in or how they found out in the first place, I'm pretty sure that Yoshida likely clued them in on it. I mean, in his reports of watching over Denji. After all, it was heavily implied during Asa's fight with Yuko. Before the battle began, Yoshida was listening into their conversation, where Yuko pretty much spilled the beans on Yoru and her abilities. And if you look at the way that the panel is drawn between Asa and Yuko, it's drawn to look like it's meant to show us that someone else is watching them. And then there's also the fact that the very first chapter of part 2 of Chainsaw Man, I mean, Yoru had literally announced who she was and showed off her abilities in the open while fighting Asa's former student head president. And I find it hard to believe that public safety, after they're done investigating that incident, that there wasn't a camera around that would have recorded everything that went on. And number 2, this shows us that public safety wanted Chainsaw Man gone from the very start, even before the Chainsaw Man Church was a thing, since Denji, unlike Katana Man and Kanchi, isn't an asset that they could ever hope to have control over again. And despite all the good that Denji seemingly has done, I mean, it's likely that the top dog got a job promotion after he literally saved the world from Makima, after the world pretty much gave up with the exception of America. Denji's just too much of a loose end for public safety to ignore, especially when the devil he's contracted with has the ability to raise concepts out of existence. And let's be honest here, if the contract between Denji and Pochita was ever broken, well, I mean, it's nearly impossible to beat Pochita. I mean, if Pochita absolutely went on a rampage, well, it could pretty much be the end of the world. And now that the Chainsaw Man Church has destroyed Chainsaw Man's reputation and his image of being a hero, they have all the justifications they need to kill Denji. And I feel like this adds a lot more depth to Yoshida, because at first, Yoshida may have intentionally planned on having Asa turn Denji into a weapon. After all, he's the one who set them up for a date and set them up to meet in the first place. But something changed in his mind. It could be because that Yoshida does actually care about Denji, or at least pities him, given that he knows how he's lived in the past and he offered Denji a way out. It makes the conversation that Denji and Yoshida had after their Falling Devil arc, where Yoshida actually breaks his composure, it makes it start to make a lot more sense. I mean, he calls Denji stupid not because of his indecisiveness of choosing between Nayuta and being Chainsaw Man, but because he just can't see or doesn't truly realize the position that he's in and how Yoshida ironically enough in his own way, is likely the only friend Denji has right now, considering that he's doing everything in his power to keep him and the Yoda alive. Getting back to the chapter, one of the advisors informs the top dog that the devil named consultant, yes, figuring out the names of devils in the world chainsawman is a real thing and there is a job for that. Well, yeah, that guy needs to talk to the top dog urgently. Then it shifts back over to the amusement park where we see Denji, Nayuta, and Fumiko along with Biram, whose full name is revealed to be Biram Bridges. Yeah, that's a cool name. Is the second in command of the Chainsawman Church, and he gets arrested and charged with numerous crimes that I can't even say on YouTube. And Fumiko jerkily offers Biram a role with public safety, citing how the Bull Devil and the Katana Devil are already with them. But before Biram gets surprisingly arrested, I will admit quietly, which is not something that I was honestly expecting, he starts rambling on how beautiful the sunset really is, which confuses the authorities there, and starts singing Kumbaya My Lord, Kumbaya. Now, if you're confused why he's singing this or what this song even means, it's a song that's meant to appeal to God to help those in need, and he could be singing this in a prayer for everyone there, for the calamity that is once again about to be unleashed onto the world, which would likely be by the Famine Devil. After all, she sent in the Falling Devil last time, and Fake Sawman as well, since, I mean, when you think about it, oddly enough, the top dog's advisors never mentioned that the two of them were actually captured, so they're still out there roaming about. Shifting back over to public safety, where we see Top Dog and the devil named consultant look at the devil that tried to eat Asa and Denji during the Falling Devil arc, where we get to reveal that this devil is in fact the Justice Devil, which is something I don't think anyone would ever expect, considering that when people think of justice, maybe they think of Superman or Lady Liberty. I mean, definitely not a giant worm. And even Top Dog even questions if the consultant is right, but it is indeed the Justice Devil. But he doesn't actually question this because of the devil's appearance. We get to reveal that when the devil dies, a devil contract the person made with the devil becomes voided. So say if you made a contract with the Fox Devil, if the Fox Devil happened to die, you can no longer use the Fox Devil's powers. But since there were so many members of the Chainsawman Church who made a contract with the Justice Devil, and apparently as the two of them are speaking, they're still benefiting from it, from finding the actual devil hunters, they didn't make a contract with the Justice Devil, but with another devil. And this is likely the Famine Devil, since the scales of justice are also associated with famine. And after all, the Famine Devil's earrings do look a lot like scales, and the Famine Devil always tilts her head in one direction or the other, like a balancing of scales. Then we finally shift back over to Asa, who's watching the news lines about the Chainsawman Church members fighting public safety. And the face that Asa made to this news is priceless. And right as Asa sees this, they hear a knock on the door from public safety who demand the War Devil to surrender. And we see the biggest shift in Asa's character in the time skip that we've seen, because Asa came up with a plan that if anyone ever got her address and tried attacking her, she would turn her apartment complex into a weapon, and gives Yoru permission to take over her body afterwards in order to fight the people that are coming after her. And Yoru's reaction to hearing this is a lot like how many of us probably felt reading this, because at the very beginning of the story, Asa and Yoru's relationship was a lot like water and oil rather than milk and chocolate syrup, just in their personalities, their moral compasses, and just how much they're willing to sacrifice. But now this is showing us that Asa's become a lot more like Yoru in her growth, in her confidence, in her maturity, but also in the slow degradation of her morality. How she's slowly beginning to think less like a human and, well, more like Yoru. Because as clever as this idea is, it also has the possibility of destroying the entire apartment complex and injuring or killing numerous people. And although Asa isn't happy about this decision, she's still willing to go through with this plan, even if it means injuring and killing numerous people. And even Yoru comments how much Asa has changed since the first time that they met. Before Asa can turn her room into a sword, Yoshida busts through the door and cuts Asa's arm off before the room can completely be transformed into a sword. And reading this, it honestly shocked me considering that this is the first time Asa's ever been injured this severely. I mean, here's to the hopes that Asa isn't going to be like how Aki was with having one arm. Hopefully she can get some blood and maybe the arm will just come back. I see that the person that sliced off Asa's arm is none other than Yoshida, who has this really big conflicted look on his face. And this is really shocking because on one hand, he's the same person that smiled after brutally murdering another Devil Hunter while trying to protect Denji during his mission in the International Assassins arc, but here he doesn't seem to enjoy what he's doing. And maybe it's because he knows Asa. After all, they weren't really close, but at least he knows that they both think alike, and Yoshida was able to relate with Asa in some point at some level. But because he's public safety's dog, well, like a good dog, he's gonna do what he's told. And if it means taking out Asa, well, then I guess Asa's on a chopping block. But anyways, this was a really good chapter. I really love how things are finally moving forward in this story. I'm really excited to see just how Asa and Yoru are going to get themselves out of this situation. Definitely let me know your thoughts of this chapter in the comment section down below. And with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.